I was born in Brooklyn, New York, on a cold November morning in 1982. I am the only daughter of a lawyer father and an actress mother. My name is also the name of the wife of the famous English writer and poet known as the Bard of Avon. As a coincidence, or little play of God, my husband's facial features are similar to those of this world-famous writer. I followed the example of my mother's profession and pursued a career in it, and these choices have led to other interesting coincidences in my life. My family roots go back to my Irish, English, French, and German ancestors. I have a writer brother and an actor brother. When I was a successful student, graduating from high school with high honors, I stepped into acting with the influence and encouragement of my mother. My first role was in a family series about the Green family. I gave life to my character for 22 episodes in this production, which was broadcast for one season. My first movie was a literary adaptation, and it taught me how to be a princess. As fate would have it, I became a queen in another literary adaptation. The success of my first movie made me a sought-after actress in family comedies, and I became the star of these movies until I moved on to more dramatic movies. After the family films, I took part in a production with 3 Oscars, which brought a striking interpretation to the cowboy films that symbolized the masculine side of American cinema. And with one of the leading actors in one of my later projects, I made perhaps the most daring film of my career. The following year, I was an intern for a legendary actress in a production that cemented my place in the industry. And years later, a legendary actor would be my intern. After a few literary adaptations and comedies, I played with successful actors in the film, for which I won my golden statuette. The role I played was the character my mother had played on the theater stage years ago. I have always been able to find roles for myself in productions by very famous directors, especially the cult space movie of a famous person obsessed with the passage of time, and the role I took in the legendary trilogy of a superhero were the most important moments of my life. In addition to my acting, I also gained the appreciation of my audience with the songs I sang. Before I forget, I also have a star in the famous Walk of Fame. In addition to my acting, I also care about taking part in social responsibility projects. I am one of the United Nations ambassadors for women's advocacy. In this sense, I have traveled all over the world for various projects, such as Nicaragua for the hepatitis vaccine, or some countries in Africa for women's rights. At home, I have always opposed Donald Trump's anti-immigrant policies. I also sold my wedding photos and donated the proceeds to Freedom to Marry, an organization that supports gay marriage. After a bad relationship, I found true love in my husband, a jewelry designer. I got married in 2012 in a ceremony that included religious traditions. This marriage gave me 2 sons 3 years apart. My brother came out as gay, and I supported him on every platform. Although I am a Catholic, after his statements about homosexuals, I decided to leave the church, and now I define myself as a non-denominational free Christian.